What's up, everyone? I'm going to be talking to you guys about Matthew 7. It really struck home to me because, actually Matthew 6 and 7, the Sermon on the Mount, and it's just so important, and there's so many stuff that we need to practice throughout this. One of the most important parts of Matthew 7 that I read to me that I do bad is judging others. The only person who can righteously judge is God, and I feel that we judge people way too much by what they wear, what they say, or what they do. If they're weird, we judge. And that's something that you kind of do, like, without thinking. And that's something we gotta realize we gotta knock out and can't do anymore. And some people just don't understand it, and it's really shining its way through my eyes right now is we can't be doing this stuff anymore. He touched on ask, seek, and knock. Jesus said when he was preaching, he says, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, and knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and so on and so forth. But so many people stop asking because they don't receive what they want. So many people don't understand that if you ask for something, you're not going to get it the way you want it. God's going to change it, and God's going to change the way you receive something so he can teach you a lesson or show you something even better. I was reading over True and False Disciples. That one scared me, I'm not going to lie. It says, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles? Then I will tell them plainly, I never knew you, away from me, you evildoers. And that's my biggest fear. And I worry about that every day instead of trusting the Lord on that one. And that's on me. I should know better that I'm changing myself. And I am sharing the gospel to people at school, and I don't need to worry about this, but I do. I feel as if I don't become a pastor and Jesus comes to save us before that time, I feel like I'm gonna go to hell. Because I feel like whenever I become a pastor, I'm gonna be strictly in God's love and his word, and I'm gonna change myself to the way I need to be. But I feel like if he comes now, I'm screwed. My worst fear is to spend my time in the Word of God every day and not practice what it says. And to go on Judgment Day and run up to Jesus and it's my turn and he says, you have not done right, you have not practiced what you said, away from me, you do not belong in heaven. That's my biggest fear, and I don't want any of you guys to feel that way. And there's an easy fix. Just spend your time with the Word, spend your time with God, and he will fix you. Jesus talked about the wise and foolish builders. I think most Christians have heard about this. If you practice what God says in the Bible, you are like the wise man who built his foundation on rock. Throughout rain and storms, your structure will not be shaken. But this is big to me because it says if you read and do not practice, like if you're just going through the motions and just going to church because you're forced to and you're not paying attention, then you're like the foolish man who builds his foundation on sand. And throughout the storms, your structure will be destroyed. Guys, it's easy fixes. And it's something I don't do either, but we can do this together. We can fix this. God simply asks, follow his commands. When we screw up, when we sin, we don't continue to sin. Obviously, we're going to continue to sin, right? We're going to mess up. But he wants us to realize what we're doing wrong and try to fix it. We're not always going to be successful, but he wants us to try to fix it. He wants us to make new disciples. And one thing that I struggle with the most is, what are people going to think when I tell them about Jesus? And that should not be it at all. I'm only here at Millbrook High School in Raleigh, North Carolina for 2 years, and then I'm going to go to Johnson Bible College and earn my Christian degree and become a pastor, and I want to change so many lives for Jesus. And for those of you who know me and I did not act Christian-like, I just want to apologize. Just recently, just this year, my eyes have been opened, and I've been reestablishing myself and looking at myself, and I did not act like a Christian. The way I act now is totally different. I hold myself accountable now, but I was reckless back then. So for those of you who knew me at Tennessee High, I just hope you could forgive me, because I did not act as if I'm a pastor's son. I acted like I don't know Jesus, and that's not me. God says, giving to the needy, that one's very important. When you see needy, do not announce. When you give to the needy, don't boast. I feel like we boast way too much. We boast about small things just to get like a laughter or an applaud. We don't need to boast. That's unneeded, and it just makes other people who cannot do what we've done feel bad. And that's not what we need to do. Prayer. When you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray in front of people. When you pray, you should not be doing it for other people to show that you're a Christian, but you should do it in silence so you can spend time truly with your God. I know you guys have heard this. I remember reciting this every morning in kindergarten. The prayer that God gave an example of is, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. That's important. That's the structure of prayer. One thing I've learned in prayer is you should not pray and only pray for yourself and ask for something, but at first you should thank God for what He's done for you before you go and ask for what you need or what you want. Ask God for strength, and ask God that He will deliver you away from Satan and away from his bad things. I think this is very important, something that we should always stay in touch with, so we know what we need to be doing and not to be doing.